talking about the top 5 moments that shaped MMO history. Starting off with number 5, Corrupted Blood, World of Warcraft. Disease Outbreak is not simply relegated to our physical form, no! World of Warcraft patch 1.7 brought us the first 20-player dungeon raid by the name of Zul'Gurub. Amongst the carnage and attempting to defeat a jungle god and his minions, players had to contend with the Corrupted Blood disease, which slowly sapped life from the affected party and anyone around him. Now, this was supposed to be confined to Zul'Gurub until some Ebola monkey finished his raid and coughed all over Azeroth. The entire game was soon affected and lower-level players started dropping like drunk flies. Eventually, the Corrupted Blood was contained and things returned to normal, with everyone learning a valuable lesson. Chiefly, that Zul'Gurub is a funny word. Then at number 4, the Great Blizzard of Second Life. First off, shut up. Yes, Second Life is so a massively multiplayer online game. You don't need dragons to have it be an MMO. Here's the deal. Second Life was experiencing record growth and an explosive economy, so one of the biggest Second Life entrepreneurs was an avatar by the name of Anshi Chung. CNET decides to interview her, but surprise, the chat was interrupted by a wafting wave of disembodied dongs. The floating phalluses got so distracting that Chung eventually left the predetermined interview to go to her own virtual apartment. Thinking she was safe, CNET resumed the interview, only this time to be interrupted by floating posters of Chung holding a gigantic man tool in her digital hands. The big lesson, Second Life's tumescent economy was stronger than ever. Number 3, the Phaser Inc. Ponzi scheme, EVE Online. EVE's in-game currency, ISK, can be used to purchase in-game items, plans, blueprints, or time inside the game. It has legitimate value, and the player-to-player economy is rich and fascinating. It creates this virtual market tossed to and fro against the backdrop of an epic space opera. Also, like in the real world, some people get ripped off. Hardcore. Take Phaser Inc. It was a classic Ponzi scheme run by 2 friends named Eddie and Mordor. They took in over 51,000 real-world dollars worth of ISK on the promise of a regular 5% interest payouts. Surprise, it didn't last very long. The duo went public with their scheme and refused to give back the suckers their monies. The lesson? One does not simply walk up to Mordor and give him your money, because he's, a rip-off artist. Number the dose, Serenity Now Funeral Raid, World of Warcraft. This one is dark, so controversial that you wonder if a game you dump this much time into is simple entertainment or an extension of your real life. In 2006, a Horde Guild officer died of a stroke. To honor her memory, guildmates gathered where she liked to spend her time. Unfortunately, it was on a PvP server, on a snowy glen by a body of water. That was until a rival Alliance guild ran up on their position and murdered the grievers by the dozens. The brutal attack, although completely encouraged by the game's letter of the law, violated a code beyond Azeroth. The fury that followed can be summed up in this comment directed towards the player who organized the attack. Quote, "I hope their dad has a heart attack and dies, and someone runs naked in the funeral home and pushes over the coffin and runs around slapping people screaming, 'LOL owned!'" And the number 1 moment, the day Lord British died, Ultima Online. So it's 1996, and Ultima Online was still in beta testing. During one of the last server stress tests, creator Richard Garriott, aka Lord British, decided to travel around many of the servers and personally thank those who made the game possible. A rambunctious player by the name of Reigns, who had previously been rapped on the knuckles by Origin for his gameplay during the beta, decided to play a little prank. He stole a Firefield scroll from another onlooker and applied it to the bridge in front of Lord British. Now, Lord British obsessively made his own character invincible, so with a grin he said, "Haha, nice try," stepped into the fire, and immediately doubled over and died. Pandemonium broke out. The murder became big news in the gaming press. The MMO genre officially had their first major moment. Reigns was later banned from Ultima Online for what Origin classified as unrelated reasons. In reality, a server reset was to blame for Garriott forgetting to assign himself an invulnerability flag before meeting with the riffraff. In lore, it's the day we learned even heroes die.